But before we await the big speech, here is a quick look at the year gone by that was for Reliance.
The world is entering a new energy era, which is going to be highly disruptive. The age of fossil fuels, which powered economic growth globally for nearly 3 centuries, cannot continue much longer. The huge quantities of carbon it has emitted into the environment have endangered life on Earth. Our world has only one option: a rapid transition to a new era of green, clean and renewable energy. The COVID pandemic has further put the climate issue in the crisis bucket.
With these words, Reliance Industries began an era of green transformation at scale. It has embarked on this journey with a vision to repeat the feat it achieved in wireless broadband.
With these new initiatives, Reliance will put Gujarat and India on the world's solar and hydrogen map.
From the 5G auctions to the IPL broadcast bid, it has been an eventful year for Reliance Industries. The stock price has risen 30% in the last year. Reliance remains India's largest private company with nearly $105 billion in revenue. It is the highest contributor to GDP growth, exports and taxes as a single company, and the pivot to green energy has well and truly begun.
We are launching our new energy business with the aim of bridging the green energy divide in India and globally. And we will do it like we have always done, by getting our first principles right.
Reliance Industries has undertaken a mission to bolster India's green energy ecosystem. The plan is expansive, from solar power generation to production of green hydrogen, along with the distribution and consumption.
There is a generational shift towards clean energy, and fortunately, India is being viewed very favorably on renewables. Based on investment opportunities in renewables, India ranks amongst the top 3 countries after US and China. So really what excites investors is the pace of change we have here in India, the plug and play model for solar parks, and the other fiscal and other incentives for renewable.
Green energy is a rapidly evolving, vast global industry with a lot of technological innovation underway. To guide on this path, Reliance has established the New Energy Council with some of the globally renowned thought leaders in the field.
After announcing their foray into the new energy business, Reliance Industries has now set up the New Energy Council with experts who will help the company validate the strategies and also look for pathways to achieve the new energy business goals.
Reliance has struck multiple deals with companies from around the world that have a strong track record of innovation and a growing number of patents and IPRs across the green energy value chain. Reliance has joined hands with companies like Ambri in the US and Faradion in the UK and Lithium Works based in Netherlands to develop battery and storage technology. Reliance has also invested in Germany's NextWave to produce monocrystalline silicon wafers that are needed in making solar panels, and a collaboration with Denmark's Tysdal on hydrogen electrolyzer manufacturing in India. Reliance also acquired a promoter's stake in REC Solar, a global technology leader in solar panel manufacturing. It also picked up a 40% stake in Sterling and Wilson Renewable Energy, one of the world's leading EPC turnkey contractors in large-scale solar projects.
We are exploring new and advanced electrochemical technologies that can be used for such large-scale grid batteries to store the energy that we will create. We will collaborate with global leaders in battery technology to achieve the highest reliability for round-the-clock power availability through a combination of generation, storage, and grid connectivity.
Work is also underway to build 4 gigafactories at the Dhirubhai Ambani Green Energy Giga Complex spread over 5,000 acres in Jamnagar. This mammoth facility will house the production capacity for solar panels, energy storage systems, electrolyzers and fuel cells. In the annual report, Mukesh Ambani said, and I quote, "Over the next 12 months, our investments across the green energy value chain will gradually start going live, scaling up over the next couple of years. This new growth engine holds great promise to outshine all our existing growth engines in just 5 to 7 years." End of quote.
I think if you were to take a look at it from a level above and look at the sort of various verticals that Reliance is making a move into, or the various transitions that Reliance is making a move into, there's 3. There's the energy transition, and that really has got to do with solar in Reliance's case. There's the mobility transition, and there's the hydrogen transition. And it's really interesting that they seem to be taking 3 different approaches when it comes to each of these.
The best of the world is coming to India to make this whole hydrogen ecosystem happen. And it's the best of India which is at the front and center of making it happen. Whether you look at the top conglomerates, you look at an L&T, you look at the top public sector undertakings like NTPC, Indian Oil, ONGC, etc. All the top big companies in India are seeing the huge potential out of this.
Market size and opportunity is pretty large over there. If you look at renewable energy itself, we are looking at somewhere about 20 gigawatts of incremental capacity addition over the next 5 years. That is every year I'm talking about. And by the time we reach 2035 or so, we will be looking at somewhere about 40 gigawatts of incremental capacity addition. And Reliance will eventually get to about 10 gigawatts of module capacity, so about 25% share. So clearly, the market opportunity is very large.
The quantum of investment is almost 6-folds or 7-folds higher than what they've already, mentioned in the last AGM. And to that extent, the capital allocation which has been envisaged, which is approximately 50% of their current balance sheet size. The FY21 balance sheet is almost 11 lakh crores. And to that extent, incrementally, 50% of the capital will be deployed in the new energy business.
Despite the challenges we have faced, when we look back at the year, we feel humbled and inspired that each and every person in our Reliance family went out of their way to help one another, much beyond the call of duty.
On the 28th of June, Mukesh Ambani passed the baton at Reliance Jio to 30-year-old Akash Ambani, marking a generational shift. After the successful completion of the 5G spectrum auction, his next big test will be the launch of 5G and its successful rollout.
We are confident of being the first to launch a full-fledged 5G service. And because of our converged, future-proof architecture, Jio's network is uniquely positioned to quickly and seamlessly upgrade from 4G to 5G.
Reliance has decided to spend over 88,000 crore rupees to acquire 5G spectrum. As per the terms of agreement, spectrum payments will have to be made over 20 equal annual installments with interest compounded at 7.2% per annum. And this will mean Reliance Jio will have to spend nearly 8,000 crore rupees every year. Jio has consolidated its leadership position in all 22 circles by acquiring the right to use spectrum in the 700, 800, 1800 and 3300 megahertz and 2600 gigahertz bands. Jio's unique 700 megahertz spectrum footprint will make it the only operator providing true 5G services across India.
The 700 megahertz was a big positive surprise with Jio, and the minister said that Jio has taken it for all India. I think 5G is going to be a very serious game in India with the kind of investments which are going in.
The distinguishing factor between the 3 is that Reliance has bid for pan-India spectrum, 2 blocks in the 700 megahertz.
Reliance has also launched the JioPhone Next in partnership with Google with the aim to provide cheap smartphone access to all Indians.
At a time when so many aspects of our lives and work are moving online, it's even more important to make technology accessible and helpful for everyone. This goal is at the heart of our partnership with Reliance Jio. I was proud to help launch this partnership last year. It was the first and biggest equity investment from the 75,000 crore rupees Google for India Digitization Fund.
Jio is also expanding its partnership with Meta and WhatsApp, especially to help small business owners reinvent themselves during the pandemic.
We continue to be so excited with our partnership with Meta, and in collaboration with the WhatsApp team, we intend to build out native features that will help the entire value chain of users, shoppers who could seamlessly shop on WhatsApp, but also retailers increase their stock assortments, improve their margins, and get them closer to perhaps a larger customer base that they've never touched before.
Reliance brands made a big splash in the luxury and premium lifestyle segments, joining hands with the best brands in the world and also roping in the best fashion designers in India. Armani Exchange, Bottega Veneta, Burberry, Versace, Valentino, these are just some of the multiple global bigwigs to join hands with Reliance brands to open their flagship stores in India.
Our apparel business sold nearly 5 lakh units per day and over 18 crore units during the year. This is equivalent to dressing the entire population of UK, Germany and Spain once.
Reliance has also picked up a sizable stake in top Indian fashion labels to expand its presence. Ritu Kumar, Manish Malhotra, Anamika Khanna, Rahul Mishra, Abraham and Thakur, and Abu Jani and Sandeep Khosla have all combined forces with Reliance brands.
Reliance Retail continues to be the undisputed leader in organized retail in the country, with a scale that is more than 6 times the next competitor.
Reliance Retail is a vital component of the consumer business, and it now has more than 15,000 stores across India. It added over 2,500 new stores and 11 million square foot of warehousing space during the year. Even as the pandemic has disrupted livelihoods, Reliance Retail added over 1.5 lakh jobs to the economy.
Reliance Retail continues to be among the fastest growing retailers in the world. We are committed to grow our business so that we are among the top 10 retailers globally. I am confident that Reliance Retail is on a hyper-growth trajectory to grow at least 3x in the next 3 to 5 years.
It has built capabilities through organic growth, acquisitions and strategic partnerships with investments near 30,000 crore rupees in FY22. It acquired B2B marketplace Just Dial, which underlines its commitment to new commerce. Merchant partnerships and digital commerce now contribute nearly 17% of revenues compared to 10% in the preceding year. Reliance is one of the world's most deeply integrated oil-to-chemicals business that powers India's energy security and is also a major contributor to the circular economy. The revenue for the O2C business increased by more than 56%, aided by higher volumes, price realization and demand recovery. Reliance entered into a strategic partnership with the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company to establish a world-class chemical project. Jio BP launched India's largest EV charging hub in Delhi NCR, alongside building on their swapping station network. Reliance has taken several steps towards the goal to achieve net carbon zero status by 2035.
We will use solar energy on an economically attractive basis to decarbonize our existing O2C business and accelerate our journey to become net carbon zero. We will transform our legacy business into a sustainable, circular and net zero carbon materials business. One that will provide growing returns for over several decades. And we will do this by repurposing our existing assets to extend their economic life and earning capacity. In doing so, we will have no legacy asset write-down in the coming years.
Reliance has also stepped up the media game this year. Reliance and Viacom18 announced a strategic partnership with Bodhi 3 Systems, which is a platform run by James Murdoch's Looper Systems and Uday Shankar, to form one of the largest TV and digital streaming companies in India. Now, as per this deal, Bodhi 3 Systems will invest 13,500 crore rupees in Viacom18. Reliance will invest an additional 1,645 crore rupees. Viacom18 has made a giant leap by acquiring the exclusive digital rights of the IPL, India's biggest sports property. Viacom18 will spend nearly 24,000 crore rupees for the rights for the next 5 years. It's also acquired the rights to broadcast the IPL in South Africa, Australia and the UK for nearly 600 crore rupees.
Absolutely brilliant!
It's not just cricket. Viacom18 is also now home to diverse sports properties. It holds the rights to broadcast the FIFA World Cup in Qatar later this year in India. It also is home to football leagues across Spain, Italy and France, along with NBA, badminton and top tennis tournaments. Viacom18 is building one of the most compelling sporting destinations in the country.
We have to enlarge the process many times over, not 5. But 500 million people should be helped to create a wealth and gain prosperity. But we cannot rest.
We did not and we will never rest on our laurels. Beyond financials, you taught us the meaning of corporate social responsibility long before CSR became a buzzword.
Reliance Foundation, over the last 11 years, has always stood shoulder to shoulder with the people of India in every challenge, big or small, through good and bad times.
Reliance Foundation has touched the lives of 63 million people across India in more than 50,000 urban and rural locations. It launched 5 big missions during the pandemic to boost oxygen supply, build infrastructure, provide food to the needy, taking care of employees and providing vaccination.
As a community, we owe each and every frontline warrior a huge debt. With folded hands, I salute their spirit of care and sacrifice. A big thank you on behalf of all of us.
Reliance vaccinated nearly 24 lakh people, which includes staff and their families, free of cost. The disaster response initiatives helped more than 11 lakh people in need. More than 2 crore children were roped in for sports development programs and more than 4 lakh students and teachers have benefited from the education initiatives. The Geo Institute in Navi Mumbai is also now up and running.
We have also worked very hard through these challenging times to bring our dream project, the Geo Institute, to life. Geo Institute is envisioned to be an exemplary academic institution with a world-class platform for research, innovation and lifelong learning.
It has been a remarkable year for Reliance Industries. The move towards clean energy and green transformation will be pivotal for the company's future growth plans. Geo is set to herald the 5G era and connect more than 1 billion people. And the conglomerate continues to create value for millions of shareholders.